6:01 on July 14th. I'm Mark McIntyre, Chair of the Southampton Village Board of Architecture Review and Historic Preservation. With me are my board members Susan Stevenson, Jane Clare, Nina Edward Anker, and Kathy Buxton. We have a full board tonight, so with that, I'm going to motion to open the July 14th meeting of the Southampton Village Board of Architecture Review and Historic Preservation. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Also joining us tonight is our counsel, Alice Cooley. In the back, we have our recording secretary, Jackie Allen, and Sage Certain is on all things video. So with that, I think we're ready to go. I don't know if Alex is Alex joining us on Zoom? Okay.
I saw him cocooned in one of the rooms back.
Oh.
You're kidding.
Okay, well, if he comes in, I'll introduce him. I'll go from
Thanks.
there. All right, so just to clean up issues, the next meeting is July 28th. And that would put, I believe, the materials due date for anybody going on from here is July 22nd. So with that, we can move on to the agenda. And the first thing is minute approval from June 23rd. Board members, did everyone receive a copy of the minutes from June 23rd?
Yes.
Are there any additions or corrections? Okay. So motion to approve the meetings from January 23rd, 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next on the agenda is a written decision for 88 Gin Lane. Council, would you like to top line?
Sure. This was a certificate of appropriateness to relocate an existing carriage house, construct exterior alterations and an addition thereto, and to construct a detached garage.
Did everyone have a copy of the written decision?
Yes. Yes.
Any changes or corrections? Okay. Motion to accept the written decision to approve 88 Gin Lane. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yeah.
Moving right
Hand that
along
down
here,
here
Mark.
on Alex's desk for me. That'd be great. All right, so that takes us to some adjournment requests. Did we adjourn 20 Little Plains last time? No, we didn't, right?
Well, it says it adjourned to July 28th.
So we did.
Second
Okay.
line.
So then, okay. So we also motion to approve the adjournment request for the Village of Southampton Diamond Communications to August the 11th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We also have a request to adjourn 31 Edward LLC to the next meeting, so I'm going to motion to adjourn, to accept the request for adjournment for 31 Edward LLC to July 28. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. We only have one sign tonight. Jane, what can you tell us about this one?
Yeah, can we put it up?
Wait.
Wait. We have a short table tonight.
Here, do you want me to?
Oh,
Is that a victory?
pretty much.
Did you hit it? Can you hit that?
Yeah, it's upside down, but yeah.
Wait. Jane's gonna,
Can you
thank you.
thank you.
Thanks,
Louise,
Denise.
Is that right?
We're a high-tech village here.
Yep. We are really into it.
Thank
We have
you.
help.
Okay, so that is a construction sign.
Marcon Development Corp., from what I understand, this was already up before it was
Well,
approved.
evidently,
Yeah.
isn't that a picture of it all the way already up?
It is.
To me, it is.
It's up. The question is, do you approve the sign or not, is the question. Are there any changes?
Is
You're
it
okay
the
with
right
the sign?
size?
It is the right size.
Okay.
Any comments?
I just wanted to bring it up to the full board, the fact that they had put the sign up prior to approval.
Is there anyone here for the sign? Of course
Yeah, I
not.
have a hand up.
Oh, you do?
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Sage. Let's hear what they have to say.
It's got a-
Hello?
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sort of.
Oh, sorry. Hi, board, I'm Anthony Portillo, I'm the owner of A&P Architecture.
Okay.
I take the full responsibility of the sign going up. There was a mistake made by my office. They looked into the requirements from the village, and we saw the sign size requirement. This was actually not, this is not one of our normal signs. So we did make this per the village code, and it was missed, the application portion was missed by my office. So I apologize, it's our first time
Okay.
working with the village.
And how long has it been up?
about a month or so, maybe, and then enforcement came, and I believe in about 2 to 3 days, we filed an application.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay, hang on one second. Any questions about the sign?
Not really.
No.
No.
Okay. All right.
I
We
mean,
were
really,
gonna move
it's-
it over to the side. I think that
Don't
was
do it
a-
again.
It's, don't do it again.
Okay, then I'm going to motion to approve the Marcon Development Corporation contract sign as presented on July 14th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
In the future, you understand.
100% will never happen
Okay.
again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, and thank you actually for showing up. Appreciate it.
Of course, thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
That takes us from, that's our only sign tonight. We didn't know demo evals. That takes us to the first, which is 276 Hill Street. Hello? Yes,
Oh,
actually.
we need that thing back. We need a sign back.
High Tech Village. Okay, thank you.
I was here last time and one time before, Representative Triathos presented this. This is, obviously, we'll get right to the meat of the matter, which is just quickly go through. These are the neighbors.
I'm sorry, the which?
These are the neighboring houses, these
Yes.
two-story houses. The house currently is a one-story ranch house, which you can see here, sort of a homes for hero, done like in the 50s. And it's an L-shaped plan. And the new house, actually, the old house doesn't conform to the setbacks. So the new house actually is a smaller, narrower footprint than the old house, and does conform, as well as the pyramid laws. It sits more or less in the same location as the existing house, as you can see here. We do want to relocate the driveway so that it could be a hammerhead versus a straight in, and to get it away from the other driveway. Like, too much blank on the street, to have that. But if there's currently a hedge, and there will be a hedge again. Again, these are the plans. I'll go straight to the elevations. But as you can see, it's not a vast house. It's basically a gable front house with the porch on the back and a small porch on the front. These are the front and rear elevations.
Yeah. I'm going to stop there for one sec, because I think we saw this house last meeting.
You did.
And I think the client was here, and there was two questions. One is a question of the historic report and demo eval, which I'll get to in just a second. And the other was a question of whether you're going to leave the front of it, because was this the house that was part of it was clapboard and then the rest of the house is shingle?
And we thought.
And there was a question between
No, it wasn't clapboard. It's
or board
Shiplap?
shiplap.
shiplap.
And there was a question
principal
between you and the
facade.
client of whether you're going to keep that request or.
We were keeping that request.
Okay, and then there was a question of the board, whether or not they
No,
felt that
I
was
have to
appropriate.
apologize for my client. She just was on anesthesia and was just coming out from the hospital, so.
Well, I think,
No,
the- I
thank
think, I think the real issue that came up was part of the board we're not sure they felt shiplap going, and part of the house and shingle around the rest made a house look pretty formal for that area versus an all shingle house, and that, I think, was a part of the discussion.
Mhm.
And I think the rest of the house, I think that's the only, if I remember correctly,
I felt it was
you felt it was too formal.
too fancy in a funny way.
Well, it's not particularly fancy.
Well, compared to the other two you showed at 268 and the other one.
Well, those are directly adjacent. However, there are houses on the street that are certainly fancier. And I don't think that this town is
I know,
is-
you mentioned this before. We have to agree to disagree, sir.
Also, I think you have to look at this in regional context. I mean, if you had to be contextual to your next door neighbor, we would not be getting much of anywhere.
Well, I think.
I disagree.
Yeah.
We want it to look, to fit into the neighborhood.
And
That's
I
what
believe
I'm
it
saying.
does.
And I
100%.
personally think it's a,
Well, here's
got
one
an
that's,
issue. I have an issue that it is, in a sense, more city-fied than it should be, in a sense. It isn't.
well, it is in the village.
Yes,
And,
it's on Hill Street, but that was,
I think we know where the house
It's
is.
in the historic
Um,
district.
yes.
mhm.
Because that rendering there,
What's that?
Is that a photograph?
That's,
neighboring
that's
house?
a house in town somewhere.
Well,
have another-
we're talking about right where it is.
Okay, right down the street, we have Whitefields,
do you have a rendering of this house?
and we have a,
Okay, we
Yeah.
kind of went through this last meeting, so
Yes.
let's go to there's only two issues at hand here. The first is, do you have a rendering of this house in its proposed form?
we do not.
Okay.
Well, that's
Colored
not-
rendering, we do have a streetscape.
I think, we drive up, our job is to sort of know the houses, and we looked at the house, and we've driven up. I don't need to go back to the streetscape right now. The question comes down to, for all the board members, how we feel about having multiple materials, and is it a deal breaker or not? Or do you have an opinion? We know some board members do, so I'm just going to ask the board members to give their opinions.
Well, it's very traditional. I mean, if
I'm
you-
asking the board members to
Okay,
give their
sorry.
opinions. Thank you. Jane?
I'm fine with the federal style, and I'm okay if they want to do both the two different sidings. I would prefer if it was total cedar shake, but I'm okay with either or.
Okay. How do you feel?
I more or less agree with that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the cedar shingles all over would be preferable, like the photograph that you referenced. It's hard for us to tell exactly what's going on without a rendering. It's hard to see,
Well, we have
the
large-scale
level of
details.
detail.
We have large-scale details, which I can get to you. That's the side.
It'll come back.
The ornament, the round window there, are you picking up on the neighborhood?
The round window. There's
Yeah.
a
You're talking-
lunette
There's a
in the,
demi-lune, isn't there?
there's a demi-lune in the pediment. That's just very traditional and typical of a house like this.
Well, I would prefer all one material with cedar, but otherwise.
Well, would that be would it be the Imperials with the nails at the bottom?
It would be cedar shingles, the ones that you had specified, with one material, not two.
Well, again, typically the front elevation is slightly fancier than the sides.
I don't know that I agree with that in Southampton Village. Okay.
I'm happy to make it all shingled if that's,
I think what I'm hearing is, I think what you're hearing is, and what I'm hearing is, I'm not sure you have the votes for the dual material. If you're willing to make it all shingle, I think you probably have the votes tonight, is sort of what I'm
Okay.
hearing.
Wait, votes tonight?
What?
Did we vote on the demo yet?
I'm about to get to that.
Okay.
So that's sort of where I think you are. So if
Okay.
you feel that making it all shingled and not shiplap on part of the front of the house is something you can live with, then I feel like you probably have more agreement from the
Okay.
board.
and we'll do the Imperials.
Okay? Now, as for the demolition, because I feel sorry for this applicant, you've been waiting for a couple of weeks for a historic report, and I'm going to tell you the truth. Sometimes the board asks for, if we're not sure, we ask for historic reports from our historic consultant. What I heard back from the historic consultant is they were away, I believe they were away first, Alex?
I believe he was on call.
Yeah. And then when he came back, basically what he's told us is he's had to, in his being busy, he's had to deprioritize this house because he doesn't have the time right now with the other work in front of him to deal with a house that he does not consider historic. So in that answer tells me that our historic consultant is telling me that the house is not historic. Because we were just looking for that reaffirmation. So I drove back over there and walked around the house and looked at it again. I know some of the board members did. And I'm going to tell you that I feel like we've held this applicant up for 2 meetings. I think there was not any big belief that it was historic. We were just looking for sort of reaffirmation of that. If the reaffirmation is I don't have time to look at it because it's not historic, to me is an odd way of getting that, but apparently we do. So I'm going to, I guess I need a vote.
You can do a combination vote, that's fine.
Okay, so I think from that standpoint, I feel like we should not pursue, well, I think I personally think we're fine with the demolition for this house, but if the board
Yes.
members agree.
Yeah.
And this we need a COA for, correct? For the
Yeah.
demolition?
Yeah, because it's in the historic district. Now, okay, so then I would say, if you're willing, were there any other comments about the house? The only one I remembered was that one from the last meeting. Okay, so board members, are we comfortable now if the house is all shingle with the rest of the house, and are we comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
then I'm going to motion to move to written decision to approve the application for 276 Hill Street with the stipulation that the front be changed from shiplap to shingle for an all-shingle exterior, and that we will not, and to approve the demolition of the current house existing at 276 Hill Street. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now what's going to happen is they need to do, Alice will do a written decision that we will vote on in the next meeting. So between that now and that meeting, if you'll just re-render the house in all shingle and do your all materials in all shingle and bring it in, then after we sign the written decision, then I can sign the paperwork sent on the plans.
Okay.
Okay.
Will do.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. So that takes us to 310 First Neck Lane, COA to demolish existing structures and construct a two-story, single-family dwelling and gazebo.
So this is just for the demo?
Yeah.
We sent the contact.
Did we get the historic report on this one?
No, trust
It's not
me.
historic, yeah, it's,
It's
okay.
like-
Oh, yeah,
it's
I'm,
fake.
okay.
1970s.
It's
I know, I
fake.
know.
From a distance, it looks
The
slightly
night,
old.
the night's young and I'm not, okay.
Okay.
All right, so then we just need to vote on the demolition for this?
I don't know if that's what we're, did they, I thought they,
Is the applicant here?
well, that's a problem. I thought we told them
Yeah, let me look.
Mark,
Yeah,
that's right.
what,
It's like commercial.
is that the house?
Yeah. so
Okay.
it's in the-
Okay, so
I'm pretty sure that's right.
is the applicant here?
Is the applicant raising a hand? Okay.
Oh, this is this house, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So maybe they just needed more time, I think.
Did we get the nighttime rendering?
What?
Did we get the nighttime rendering?
We needed a nighttime rendering and we needed some updates. Is the
The
applicant
front door?
here? All right. So at the chairman's request, I'm going to adjourn 310 First Neck Lane to July 28th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So an adjournment. Next up is 75 Halsey Avenue for construction of a second-floor addition, rear deck, and porch to primary residence. And that's a new matter. Do you have affidavits, and are they in order?
Yes and yes.
Great. Hello.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. My name is Denise Shern. I'm the attorney for the applicant. Unfortunately, the architects couldn't be here with us tonight, so it's just me.
That's okay. We've had you
We
before.
like you, Denise.
We like you,
Thank
Denise.
you.
Okay.
I want to make sure I'm putting these the right way.
No, you can spin that around towards
Turn it
you,
around toward
so
me.
it'll pick up on the camera and get real close to the microphone.
Thank you.
And if memory serves, oh, go ahead.
Yes. We had two outstanding issues at the last meeting, both related to glass doors, one for the pool house and one for the rear of the structure. What you see before you is the existing and proposed pool house, the south elevation of it. So you can see the difference between what exists today and what we're proposing. What we did was we actually calculated the amount of glass in the existing building versus the proposed building and found that we were only increasing it by 4 square feet. The board was concerned that perhaps we were adding too much glass to the pool house. So we wanted to make sure that we were in line with what's currently there to keep it in the fashion that it already exists. And it turns out that we're off by 4 square feet, which seemed, de minimis for a rear yard structure. We also reduced the width of the slider by 6 inches since the last meeting, so now it's 14 foot wide by just 13 and 6 inches wide. We switched from the dark colored units to white to match the main house units more consistently. We removed the existing picture windows. We added more light cuts to be consistent with main house. And as I said, our proposed design is 4 square feet more glass than the existing pool house. So that's the first page of that one. The second is, now this is the rear of the house. What we've done with these sliders is we've reduced the width of each of the sliders by 12 inches since our first meeting on June 9th. We also switched these sliders from the dark colored units to white to match the rest of the units more consistently, and we added more light cuts to be more consistent with the rest of the house. I just want to remind the board that this, again, is the rear of the house. There is an overhang over these sliders that's 12 feet long by 28 feet wide. So in terms of light effect, there will be very little light effect coming out of these sliders. This is the proposed elevation of the north elevation, which is also the rear of the house, so you can see it just in one place. And then a picture of the existing house with the existing slider that's there. This slider is 1 foot 8 inches larger in width than the proposed sliders that we're asking for today. So right now, when you sit in the living room, you're looking through sliders which go to the backyard through a covered and enclosed porch. We also did a proposed wall to glass ratio, just to give the board an idea of where we're at in terms of how much glass is on each side of the building. The south elevation, which is the front elevation, we have 490 square feet of glass, of wall, and 66.5 square feet of glass. On the proposed north elevation, which is the rear of the house, we have 490 square feet of wall with 208 square feet of glass. And on the east elevation, one side of the house, there's 710 square feet of wall with 68 square feet of glass. And on the other side, the west elevation, we have 710 square feet of wall with 65 square feet of glass. Those numbers are all under 17% in terms of ratio. That one. Then I also have some renderings for you. First, the board didn't comment or didn't want to comment, I think, on the color of the door, but we sort of got the gist that maybe the door color was an issue. I have a sample of it. But I'll show you when we get to the rendering. I'll pick it back up again. This first rendering is of the pool house. At the top, you'll see what was presented at the June 9th meeting. On the second picture or image, you'll see what was presented at the 23rd meeting, which is when we added the sconces. And then the current meeting, we've changed the sconces so that they're white. The width of the slider has been reduced by 6 inches. The color has been changed to white. To be consistent with the main house, and we've added those lights to be more consistent with the main house. The sconces have also changed to white, and the existing casement windows have been removed. The proposed only features 4 square feet more of glass than the existing pool house. On the next set of renderings, at the top, you'll see what was presented at the June 9th meeting. In the middle, you'll see what was proposed at the June 23rd meeting, and now currently, that's the bottom image. We've shortened the sliders by 12 inches. They've changed to white to be more consistent with the rest of the color of the house, and the light cuts have been added to be more consistent with the rest of the house. We've also changed the columns so that they're white as well. And just a reminder that this is under that 12-foot overhang as well. This is the front of the building. You'll see the top, what was presented at June 9th, in the middle, June 23rd. Currently, at the bottom, the front door, the only change we've made is that the front door has been changed to Benjamin Moore Rockport Gray, which is the color that I was showing earlier. And the sconces on either side of the door have been changed to white. And I think that is what I have to present.
That's where we are. Okay. Board members.
I kind of like the dark. I feel it gets too homogeneous with the gray front door. Because this is a form that is admired largely at the Village of Southampton.
So the gray
well-
door, you think is too dark, you're saying?
No, I
I'm
think I like the dark.
Oh,
I
you like
like
the
that
dark.
there was something other than a what I feel is a fairly monochromatic
Yeah.
theme
I look back because I don't actually remember
saying that.
the
right.
color of the door. The issue had been when you look at the molding around the door,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes all the way around, and the saddle was also white. It almost looked like a picture frame. It looked unusual.
Oh, I
So there was
see.
a trim question about it, but I never thought it was the door color itself.
that was left,
but that was
right.
my memory.
So that hasn't been changed.
Yeah.
And we questioned not using shake, cedar shake.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah, but I
Sorry.
don't require a
Right,
door.
Right, I think there's a misunderstanding
Yeah.
maybe.
Okay.
We don't like that
I would agree that.
picture frame.
Yes,
Yeah.
it
Do you
was.
see that?
Yeah.
The frame,
Denise?
the frame around the door
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
It just looks like,
I think-
honestly, it just looked like they
yeah.
painted the
How about
saddle white
floor?
instead of the saddle being
also,
natural,
while
which
I
would be normal.
appreciate your quoting all the exact figures and it's 4 square feet more and it's de minimis and all of that, I think we are also architectural review and historic preservation, and there's something about design and architecture. It's not entirely mathematical.
Oh, sure.
So for me, I still think, I don't care if it's only 4 feet or not, I still think
back?
the pool house is
Oh.
way too, and the back porch is way too much glass visually. So the quoting of numbers to me doesn't move me.
Okay.
I would agree for this neighborhood and this small of a
Yeah.
lot, that it's a very, very ominous amount of light
Yeah.
in the back of the house, even if it does have the 12 feet
Mm-hmm.
over it. And I would definitely rather see cedar shake, and therefore if the door was gray or blue, it wouldn't really matter, but I would prefer cedar shake over the gray, but to have a gray siding and then to have a gray door doesn't really seem to make sense to me.
And refresh my memory about that enormous, what is this enormous overhang? It doesn't have a door to it, so it's not a,
It's not an enclosed
it's just a roof.
porch. Right, exactly.
Which is a big 12-foot roof for
Yeah.
an outdoor.
Doesn't have
It's
a
an outdoor
patio.
room that
Doesn't
does
have
not,
a
it does
patio
not
on
have
top of
access
it.
to it.
Right.
Exactly.
that's, right.
From an
For
energy
now, at
standpoint,
least.
the north glass is not efficient at all, like
No.
north-facing glass. I think that should be reduced, just,
On the house, you're saying?
yeah, I think the amount of glass in the north should be less than on the south. The pool house is facing south, so that makes more sense.
Although, do you want a pool house?
That you can see into completely? I
Or
wonder.
not just,
No.
not only not see
I don't
into,
know
but
where
that
you
it's like,
change your- change
like
your- I could
112
never figure it
degrees
out.
on a, at 9 AM?
I think one thing the clients would just like to remind the board is that the glass is already there. They already have
Well,
structure.
But they're redoing it.
But
The
they're
whole thing,
redoing
aren't
it.
they? That doesn't hold, does
Yeah.
it? It's a good drive.
Thank
I
you,
don't think
thank
so.
you.
I mean,
Um,
once you're redoing it, then you're sort of,
Opening yourself
Opening it
up.
up.
yeah,
Sure.
Like with
They want to
anything else.
just change
You
the,
touch it, you have to go
put shiplap,
back to the,
if,
I
you
mean,
know, that would be
interior too.
different.
Right.
I also think, these setbacks, it's like 15 feet on each side, so to me, that needs to be dealt with, and that's sort of part of our problem here, that we feel that in the backyard and in the pool house, there's too much light. Too much.
So,
if
so
you
here's
turn
what
the
I'm,
lights on.
so here's what I'm hearing. First, I'll give you my opinion. I don't remember an issue with the darker door. I think the darker door is nice. I think the issue was the way that the saddle was white and the trim around the door is white, so suddenly the door looked oddly like a picture frame, which may have been a rendering situation. But I think that with the darkest white, I think from my perspective, changing the back to white, the columns to white, the windows to white is harmonious and looks better, and it's more typical of the neighborhood. I'm hearing, and I kind of agree, that just the size and it's not just the amount, but it's the size and the scale against the wall of the windows and the window openings just feel out of balance to the walls in which they're existing. So, and now that you're redoing it differently anyway, the way they will operate is different. So, it's been sort of a expression of the board from the beginning that just those windows just need to come down a little bit, and I just feel like the scale balance, there's just something that feels heavy. In the pool house, if you look at it, was before when you had 4 panels that were smaller, and you may have had more glass because you had 2 windows, but the window-wall ratio on that wall looked less contemporary or more harmonious to the overall structure, especially to the contemporary neighborhood, to the traditional house, which looks quite nice. But I think that's what the board is looking to see, and I think that's what I'm hearing.
So, in my head, on the front, what we don't like is the white picture frame of
Around
the
the
front
door.
door, is that correct?
Right, because it looks like
I
the saddle.
agree.
It looks
That
like the
would
saddle.
change it completely.
If the saddle were wood and not, and it may be the rendering, but it looks white.
Okay.
That's where that really came from. And have I captured everything on the?
That's what I'm asking, yeah.
Will
For me.
a night rendering help, or is it?
I hate
is
the-
it
No,
still-
it's actually
It's
what I'm
side.
hearing is your visual balance
Okay.
is bothering people, and there's a preference for going from your dip shingle to a natural shingle. Is what I'm hearing.
Okay.
So that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Are there any comments from the public? Okay. So I think that's pretty succinct.
It is.
Do you think you can be ready to come back for July 28th?
I think so.
So an adjournment and then
Yes,
where'd you
please.
go?
That'd
Okay.
be great. Thank you.
So at the applicant's request, I'm going to motion to accept the applicant's request for an adjournment for 75 Halsey to July 28th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. So that takes us to 101 Toilsome Lane for exterior renovations to a primary residence. Do you have the affidavits and are they in order?
So this
It
was on
which
last
year
time.
before?
What?
We did it already. Yeah,
Oh,
last time.
I'm sorry. This is not a new matter. Okay, 101 Toilsome. I'm so determined to remember to ask for affidavits that now you don't need them.
Good for you, I never remembered.
Hello.
Hi,
If you could state your name, please.
Nicole Adams. I am here to represent the owners of 101 Toilsome.
Okay.
This is our third visit, and we're here to talk about the rear facade, the balcony. And I just want to share my screen if that's possible.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, sorry. So the last time there were some concerns about the visibility of the proposed balcony with the neighbors, and I just want to clarify because I don't think I was clear last time. There's the only visibility from this rear yard to a neighbor or a neighbor back to them is on the west side. There's a Z lot right here, and I can show you, we did a better diagram. So 2 houses to the left, there's this kind of Z lot, and the only visibility between neighbors is about 175 feet to this pool and the rear of this house. The neighbor to the east, there is no visibility at all. So this is from their roof right here onto the east, there's nothing. This is their backyard over here, and this is what you can see from that neighbor to the west.
And that's not based on line of sight, that's based on vegetation that's blocking the view?
That's vegetation,
Okay.
that's,
Thank you.
and, yeah. So, what we proposed, last time, we proposed more things, but last time, we just wanted to be clear, because I don't think I was very clear last time. We did propose to continue that screening and block whatever was open, in that sign of light. There was another, point that was brought up about the lighting and the glass, there's being too much glass. So, with reviewing this with the owner, this was what was proposed last time. There were 3 panels in the study, 4 panels in the primary bedroom. And so they heard you and they agree, and they actually think for themselves too, it would be, more private. And so what we would like to do there is reduce, we took away a panel for each opening, and reduced them quite a bit, I think. So there's just 2 panels in the study and 3 panels in the primary. And then finally, I believe that there was a recommendation to use planters. We had proposed planters previously on the side, high planters, and then there was a recommendation to include planters on that back patio, on the back balcony. We reduced the balcony, then the use of the balcony in size quite a bit, and are proposing planters along the back.
Can you give us the depth and width of the balcony, yeah, please?
There's 4'6" of depth. The width, what do you want?
I was looking for my last week's, maybe the last set of documents.
The overall width is about 25.
And the
Looks
depth?
like it's 40.
It's 35 and a half, and we're
40.
taking away 7 feet.
Does it look like 40?
It's 35 and a half.
Oh, 40 to there.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's written right there. It's 27 feet interior and 46 feet, 4'6" interior.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in looking at the site plan, there's another house over that hedge, literally to the east, right?
The house?
From from your house, 101. I don't know what the number is, 115, I don't know. Is that your thing?
101, this is 101, this is
Yeah,
us.
so to the east.
There's a house right there.
So to have that balcony where people are sitting out talking and everything, to me,
There's a structure right between us. There's
oh
an
yeah,
existing garage,
but that doesn't work.
and that's set back quite a bit.
Well,
It's not a 2-story garage, is it?
No.
but it's still, I just know.
And it's a very
That's-
slight balcony. It's their primary bedroom.
I know
the
you
study.
keep telling me that, that's,
Yeah, it's not
I
like a
don't care
party's
what the
happening up
room
there.
is. I care how the buildings fit together on this street with narrow lots. And that it might be
Noise pollution, too.
noise, light, and when the phone rings, I feel like, I don't even understand why you need such a wide, that's a big,
It's huge.
27 feet. How long is this room?
Probably 27.
I don't get it. To me, it's excessive, and I think it's, because of the way the houses sit on the lots, it's unnecessarily invasive, could be unnecessarily invasive, this is what I think.
Other board members?
And maybe, I don't know, I don't like how it looks so much either, but it's in the back.
Right. I agree with both those points. The way it looks, less so. you know?
Right.
But I mean, that's enormously large,
And this is-
4.5 feet by 27, and in
In
a
a-
very narrow,
It's so
narrow
tight.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it's tight on both sides.
I agree.
So you have the light pollution, and then you also have noise and people up there, and, you know, I mean, they may like to entertain in their bedroom, so if it's the master bedroom, that's irrelevant, really. They could be people that like to have a party in their bedroom, so that kind of is a moot point. I think it's just too big, and I don't think it's appropriate for the area. So, and I don't think there's anything that's gonna change to get my vote.
Okay. Jane?
I agree that the length alone, I mean, if it's only 4 something wide, but 27 feet does seem excessive to me for the size of the balcony. And it is a very narrow lot. They're all narrow right there.
Nina?
I mean, I would say that if the purpose of the balcony was to have morning coffee, but it seems to me that it's more than that. But I don't oppose the idea of a small balcony where you can have a small table and a cup of coffee. But this seems to be more than that. I mean, could you do 2 small balconies?
The impetus for the balcony in the beginning was that we bumped out the back of the house to get a kitchen there. That was
Right.
it. And we didn't want to do a whole full 2-story. So it was to
Right.
actually to have a more diminutive addition than to actually be.
Well, it can just be a roof then, and it cannot have access, that's fine.
You're saying the first floor bump out actually goes out 12 feet, and you're looking to take the entire roof that's over and turn it into a balcony.
We
Okay.
didn't want to go full, the full.
I totally get that. Here's what I think I'm hearing, and then we'll go to public comment. I think there seems to be a universal opinion that, because this is an interesting street, because a lot of the lots like this are deep and some of them are short, and every other lot has a different depth on the street. But when they get very narrow, it's the real concern here is light and noise and neighborhood privacy. And it seems to be pretty universal. There's a big concern about the way this is designed. I think if you can figure out how to set the balconies back, maybe, or figure out how to do a smaller Juliet over a portion of it, you might get a little more acceptance. But as right now, it's just too much usable square footage on that second floor. So I think you need to rethink about what that second floor square footage can be. Because the rest of the house, we seem to have complete agreement except for this one area. And it's not the first time that we've had these comments. So I think instead of coming in and moving things foot by foot, which isn't going well, I think, because even the proposal to put planters can be removed. So I think just rethink what you want to do with that space that limits its public access, but the rest of the house seems to be fine, is what I'm hearing. But before I do that, I do want to throw it over. Any comments from the public? Okay, so are you hearing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So do you think you can sort of rethink that and talk to us on July 28th?
Let me talk to my clients. and-
Okay.
and I'll-
Would you like us to adjourn to the 28th?
Yes.
Okay. And then if we need to adjourn farther, you'll come back and tell me, but okay. So I'm going to motion to accept the client's request for adjournment for 101 Toilsome to July 28th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. That brings us to 1430 Meadow Lane. Please. Hello, John.
Hi.
In the mic. Have to hear you.
We were here the last time, and the board was concerned we had a large bit of glass, and what is pretty much the gym. There was a bank of 6 attached glass doors / windows, so at the board's direction, we significantly lowered the amount of glass and made it, we just have these flanking 2 banks of glass doors. This is, the property's about 300 feet from the street, and we hope that the board agrees that this tones down that well, that would be, I guess, the north facade there, the facade, the front of the building, in a satisfactory manner. This is a relatively small addition to the existing house, and has the, I think it's a total of 1,000 square feet. That was the zoning board of appeals approval, just to add onto some bedrooms. And then we took advantage, since we have a garage approved in the front, of capturing some of this
John,
space.
John, we can't hear you.
John,
Excuse me?
Speak, we can't hear you.
It's a first.
Oh, I'm sorry. Should I start all over again?
No.
No, just get closer to the mic,
wants me to do
and
that.
just get close to the mic and let's hear you.
I'm telling you.
And also,
because we
our
wanna
friends
hear what
back there
you have
taking
to
notes
say.
need to hear you too.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah, it was, again, I think this is what we call in the law res ipsa loquitur. It speaks for itself. We took down these, instead of this uniform row of glass in the facade, that's the north elevation, we've replaced it with these two door assemblages separated by wall, exterior wall. This is what you see when you drive in, although it is about 300 feet from Meadow Lane. It's a very relatively small addition of about 900 and almost 1,000 square feet, primarily to add to some of the bedrooms, the three of the smaller bedrooms in the house, and we took advantage of that zoning board of appeals approval. We're building a separate garage that's already been approved, so we're hoping that this is more in line based upon the comments that you made at the last board. We thought this was more in line with what the comments were. It's the front view. That's the rendering, but the same is the
Yep.
it's where the elevation is a 200. So you can see what it is in elevation. I always forget, well, I'm supposed to turn these to you or to me this way. And there's the before and after.
So
You know,
of the
John,
So far, it's going well, because we can see it.
They changed,
Huh?
turn those back the other way. They keep changing what you're supposed to do.
No, we didn't.
No, it's correct.
It's correct, there's the
Oh,
TV.
oh, that one. Yeah, good.
It's like, I
No,
think it's
that's
just to
not-
keep me on my toes.
No,
You know, it's
the
good to
ones
have a
you
goal.
just flipped around.
So this is before,
Yeah,
and this is after, and that's before and after in rendering.
yeah,
The above was the last meeting, the bottom is this meeting.
right.
Board members,
Wow.
I think it's much improved to have the wall between rather than have the four. I think it looks better all the way around, and thank you for listening.
Sure.
others?
I agree. What's it, it's described as a garage in search of a house or something the last time. Now we actually
I
have
believe
a
in
house.
portion. I think
with-
last time we channeled Peter DeWitt and said gaping maw.
Oh, I think it looks more like a cohesive house without a big, the first
Yeah.
thing you saw was, I mean, it was a garage in search of a house, so I think it's much improved.
I miss Peter and his rhetoric.
I do too.
too.
Oh,
Desperately.
yeah.
Yeah, right?
We'll see it.
Nina, any thoughts?
I mean, I think the original was intentional with the architect to keep sort of this blank wall and then all the glass sort of receding, and I feel like it's losing its rhythm architecturally. But it's less glass than before. Appreciate the greenery, but from an architectural standpoint, I feel like the balance and rhythm between glass and solid is being compromised.
I'll just point out real quick that the new alignments between the second floor and the first floor, they're now aligned top and bottom. I think that creates a nice rhythm on the front elevation. I think it plays nicely with the scale of the house.
I think the house is much improved from its existing state. I think it's night and day. I think it looks quite attractive. I have no issue with personally.
Here's
And it's-
where I'll come from. there's something about it that makes it look like a renovation, but on the other hand, the issue I had before was there was so much glass that it looked like you're taking a garage and just glassed all the way across the front of it. And what I felt before from my perspective, which made it disharmonious, is you lost focus on where is the front door when you pulled up to the house. I think when you pull the glass down to where we are right now, the front door becomes more obvious, and therefore the harmony and balance between that, curtain presenting wall from the driveway and what you want someone to do, which is go find the front door, is a little clearer. That would be my comment. Are there any comments from the public?
We certainly have an interested public tonight.
Can you blame them?
All right, so
Go.
I think I'm going to motion to accept the application for 1430 Meadow Lane based on drawings presented July 3rd. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Oh, my God.
There you go. Okay, thank you. And,
Thank you.
thank you for listening as well.
Yeah.
Of course.
We appreciate when people say take in consideration, come back and address politely.
Thank you so much.
I always listen. Sometimes my clients don't like what you say. So,
We know that, John.
good night, everyone.
Good night. Okay, so that takes us to new matters where you do need affidavits, and they do have to be in order. So my first one is Summit Trust at 234 Wickapog Road. Do you have the affidavits, and are they in order?
Yes and yes.
Okay. I have a question before we get here.
Yeah.
Because was this noticed?
Yes.
It was noticed. Was it posted? It was posted, but the materials, we got nothing except for 2 pieces of paper. We didn't get a rendering, we didn't get a drawing, we got nothing except for 2 pieces of paper.
I don't even know if I did that.
We're just only asking to change the previously approved natural shader to white shader.
Right,
Well,
but
so
part of that
that's
decision is visual. So without presenting us pictures of what the house looks like in its accepted state, and a vision or representation of what it would look like in the alteration you're asking for, makes it a little bit difficult for the board. So I'm going to put that on the, we're going to hear you, but I want to put that on the table because all that was presented was the application and a piece of paper. There wasn't a sample, there wasn't a color, there wasn't a drawing, there wasn't a rendering, there was nothing to look at.
Yeah, I guess the mistake would maybe it's a miscommunication with the building department. They told me, because it was previously approved, we just put a note.
We still need to see it in the white.
Oh, okay.
Period.
Sorry.
And also,
Yeah.
also not just us, because the whole point in posting a house is so the neighbors can see it and be able to also comment. And if you give them nothing to look at, they have nothing to comment on the same way we don't.
got it.
And you've done this a long time, so you know what we look for.
Good. I never did amendments.
Okay.
I thought this is the way. I'm sorry about
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So I'm sharing my screen. So this was previously approved house on 234 Wickapog, and it was natural shingle, and they just want to make it white. That's all we asked for.
To make the natural shingle white?
Yeah, it was natural shingle, and we got approved for the siding is natural shingle. Now they want pre-dipped white shingles.
Do you have a sample? What color white? No?
It's going to
It's
be
just
white.
Oh,
And
I
what-
mean,
what's
we
the
have
size
a
of
million
it?
Can you-
whites.
Yeah.
Maybach
The size of the
white.
overall house
Right.
besides.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big thing to consider.
That's all.
I actually think for that area of Wickapog with the other houses in it, that because you have a lot of roof on that house, which is cedar, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes,
quite a
because
bit
you've
of
got
cedar.
a lot of roof in that house that comes down, and then I think changing that bottom half to white would be jarring. I think the house is a lot more cohesive in what was originally presented, both for this house, and I think in terms of harmony to the neighborhood and what is typical in this style house. I think toning it down and keeping it all natural shingle would be my preference.
Okay.
Me
So
too.
There is actually a lot of houses that's white in the neighborhood.
Yes,
Yeah.
we see, but if we're
They're
talking.
not on the
Before we go
side,
down,
yeah,
we know,
the street.
again, we drive the streets.
Mhm.
We know what the house looks like,
Okay.
and we know what this architecture looks like. I'll let the other board members comment, but that would be my comment.
If I remember correctly, this is a very large structure.
No.
No?
It's not huge.
No, but
It's,
cutting it in half
It's
visually by the
average.
color would make
Right.
it squattier.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
And
agree.
also that is next to, there are some historic structures, 348, 350,
Red Top Farm,
That
if
are
you
white.
keep going down. It's a historic,
Right.
Yeah.
it skirts this historic Wickapog Farm house
Yeah.
historic district. And so to keep, I think the shingles, we were very happy with what we approved the last time, and now it's just becoming like, so the houses that you show, the white ones, are these new houses that they've just put up a little farther to the north, and it makes it homogeneous in the neighborhood, which is really not the idea. I think it's detrimental to the neighborhood.
You know?
Yeah, I agree that natural shingle would be preferable.
Great. So,
Okay, are there comments from the public? So I think what you're hearing is that we're not, the board is not in favor of doing the house with the white bottom and the natural top. They'd like it to stay where it was in the approved house, which was natural shingle.
Okay, let me talk to the homeowner and see
Okay?
what her
Okay.
thoughts are.
Okay. So actually what I'm going to do is a motion to deny the application. A motion to deny the application for 234 Wickapog Road to modify from previous approved shingle color. Is there a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that takes us up to 175 Miller Road. Do you have affidavits and are they in order?
Yes, and yes.
That was a quick one. Good. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, please. If you can get to me.
I love this little
Thanks, Rick.
Hello, if you'll introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, of course. My name's Rick Tolkowski from Peter Cook Architect. We're
Can you
representing the client.
take them?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
just-
sorry.
We
yeah.
have a problem
Thank you.
tonight. I don't know what.
Yeah, that's okay.
Usually we can
you
hear.
hear me?
Well, we
Good?
we also like to keep Jackie happy so she can hear it.
Yeah,
So,
it's going to be,
All right.
okay,
So I can start?
please.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Glasses, I'm sorry. So our client recently had some extensive water damage to their home, which required removal of all the interior finishes down to the studs in the subfloor. So rather than replace the house in kind, they thought it'd be a good idea to take advantage of an unfortunate circumstance and reevaluate the program and the floor plan. This led to some conversations with our office about shuffling the floor plan and a desire to add some additional square footage to the house while maintaining a modest budget and minimal changes to the overall footprint of the home. The proposed floor plan includes larger bedrooms, still 3, but larger, a new office,
Sorry, we-
primary.
We only care
do
about
the
the
outside.
exterior.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
We don't purview over the
I
interior.
know that, but
Yeah, okay. No,
I gotta give you an overall
appreciate-
idea
just-
because it affects
just so you
the
know.
outside.
Okay.
All right, well, okay. So the exterior of the home will be resided with the hardy plank clapboard. Color will be a light mist with a 5-inch exposure. All windows will be replaced with Anderson 400 series casements, color white. Exterior trim will be replaced with a Versatex or a composite equivalent, again painted white. The existing concrete block foundation and proposed concrete foundation will also be painted white, while the proposed chimney will be stuccoed, have a stucco veneer. A stucco veneer. Is that okay?
Do you have drawings? Yeah, if you could work, because here's why. The public needs to see them as well on there, because people that are watching on Zoom needs to be able to follow along with the conversation. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Excuse my red lines. Is that okay?
Well, no, in a second.
well, we can't see us
Hang
to
on.
shoot it. We're waiting.
Give our friend a minute. There you go. Okay.
All right.
Fine.
So all the roof lines and the edges will remain proportionally consistent with the existing, other than a change of material. The proposed landscape plan and survey shows a line of existing Leland cypresses on the east side of the property and hedges on the north and west side. And we're proposing some boxwoods, lavender, and hydrangea foundation plantings on the front and side elevation.
Did you give us the landscaping
I did. It's sort of
on another
Oh.
page? On-
yeah. I have it with me, I think.
Like in another folder, like in another.
Not
part of the-
extremely extravagant or colorful by any means. But shows what's happening.
Well, can you show us at least?
Yeah, of course. Just give me a second, please.
I don't see it in my packet.
It's there.
This one? I don't know, here, share with me.
It was included.
Is there a rendering?
There's no rendering.
No, I didn't get that.
Oh, I guess this is.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, it's just here. We have, oh, she has it.
Apologize.
Okay.
That's the landscape plan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Here's the one.
Okay. Just take it through color, please.
I'm sorry?
Take us through color, all the way around. Did you mention color?
The color of the-
Mist.
Cement,
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I missed it.
Sorry.
We were shuffling papers. I'm sorry. I
The
missed
color of the house, you're talking about the color of the house?
Yeah.
Same
yeah.
color,
it. Same color. Okay.
yes?
No, the color now is like a
It's like
seafoam
yeah,
green. No,
like
it's gonna be like,
seafoam.
it's gonna be
Yeah,
gray.
It's gonna be gray.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
with white
Okay.
trim.
Another gray house.
Okay.
Another gray house.
no place.
Board members, questions?
So, and there are solar panels on the roof?
There are, not now, they're proposed.
There
yes.
will be.
There will be.
You're proposing to put,
Correct.
including, and,
I included a plan, I think, of the solar panel.
yeah, I saw that,
Yeah.
but it's
it
in the
doesn't
front of the
blow.
house as well as the back?
It's on the front and the east and west sides. It's, I mean, it's a small roof, so, they, you know, they had to use the majority of the roof for the solar panels.
I don't know what to say to that. It's sort of slightly foreign to me, frankly.
Slightly what?
Foreign. Not a lot of people propose front.
Well, it's really, depends on the direction of the house. I don't think it, you know, and
Well,
how much it's chopped
we
up.
haven't seen a lot of it, let's
Yeah.
put it that way. So, I don't know what to think of that.
Other board members?
Is there like a before and after elevation?
Yeah, it's on the elevation page,
Oh,
there,
it's-
before
I'm
and after, it's
sorry.
right next to each other. I think that's what's requested
It's
from
just the print
the
was
board.
small.
Yeah.
Okay.
that
On
here
page 4? Is that page
Yes.
4?
Yeah, got it. And
The left side is proposed, the right side is
Yeah.
existing.
It's not oval, but it's, no.
So this is the.
I think you
The
guys
proposed
request, I think you
is
request, I think you
panel.
request the side by
Where's the front
side
door?
Yeah.
Is this the front
comparison.
door?
They did.
This must be proposed with this.
This must be the front door, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
What kind of a front door is that? We're just seeing like a, it looks like it's
Plain.
a glass.
I mean, at this point, we're, you know, I'm not sure what the front door is going to be exactly. I can't tell you for sure. I didn't want to propose something. It's going to be somewhat solid, you know, partially glass, but I can't tell you for sure. That's why I just left it blank.
Well,
It's, you know, where
here's the problem.
the side, the door is also on the side of the house, which nobody's going to see.
Well,
That's
here's the thing. The reason we go through this process is so we know exactly what a house is going to look like.
I
And the neighbors look exactly like a house is going to look like. One of the things included in knowing exactly what a house is going to look like is what does the front door look like. So we actually do need to know that.
Okay, but you should also appreciate that. We're also like a year and a half or 2 years away from building this house, whatever it may be.
I
And
know.
they haven't made a lot of
I'm going to
decisions.
stop you right there. I actually don't appreciate that.
All right.
Because people come to this board with a plan of what they intend
I
to
understand.
build, and then we approve what you intend to build. So I actually don't appreciate it. We have plenty of houses here that don't get built for a year and a half, but they come with fully
All right,
built-out
okay.
plans. So that's the question I have is if you can tell us what the front door will look like.
All I know is that it's going to be a partial glass door. I don't know exactly what it's going to be. I can't tell you. I mean, I could add something in there.
All right.
That's the one thing that's going to stop
Yeah.
this approval. I'll definitely add something.
I think, well, we have if you're not going to build it for a year and a half, we have time. But I think, my opinion is overall, I think it's it's fine. I think it's appropriate for the neighborhood. I personally would prefer that the solar panels don't face the roof structure heading to the front of the street, because when you drive in the neighborhood, it's a very harmonious neighborhood, and I find them facing the front of the house jarring. I prefer to use the back and side roof lines for the solar panel instead of those facing the street. That's my opinion, but I realize that has something to do with the direction of the sun. But if there were another option for that, I would appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll go back to the
Yeah,
Green Logic and ask them if they could do something different.
yeah.
Would it
Because
help?
also, if they want to see them, we now have the first house that was actually done with a Tesla roof structure.
again?
The new Tesla tiles, if you want to see what
Oh,
they look
yeah.
like. We have actually a house that's just finishing an Old Town to
Okay.
look at, which makes it a solid black structure, so they're not quite as obvious, but they may be more
Yeah.
expensive for this house. But
Yeah.
if there could be a different configuration of what faces the street, and just let us know what the door looks like, I think those are the two
Right.
issues.
Do you, would you approve less solar panels on the front, or would you rather see elimination of them altogether?
I personally would just rather not see them on the roof line facing the street, because it's a gentle house, gentle neighborhood, and when I drove around, I didn't see other houses with that. Not that we may not have them in the future, but using the side and the back roof, I think would be a little more harmonious to the neighbor as that neighborhood as it exists today.
Understood.
I think also because solar panels are new to us, we would like to see a little bit more of a rendering of what you're proposing and what they're going to look like, rather than just say solar panels, like what solar panels. And
I think Green
I
Logic
think-
will tell you that you're gonna have a lot of power collection without needing the front facade. You have quite a generous array already.
Yeah, it's actually almost 18 kW. So that was something that the client discussed with Green Logic,
Okay.
something they wanted. So again, we could go back in,
That'd be
talk
great.
about that.
Okay. Do you think you can come back to us on the 28th with the
Yeah,
finish
yeah.
of the door plan and maybe a different
I'll
solar
get you a
plan?
rendering too,
Okay.
just so you have it.
Okay,
That's
that'd be
not an
great.
issue.
Great.
Are there any questions from the public?
Can I just ask one more question?
Please, you can ask whatever you want.
So those are the two issues, those are the two concerns.
Board members?
The solar panels.
Yeah.
That's
And
it.
the front
Those are
and
the
the
two that
door.
I'm hearing.
Okay?
Yeah.
Great.
All right. So then I'm going to motion to accept the client's request for an adjournment to July 28th for 175 Miller. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll see you on the
Thanks
28th.
for your help.
Thank you.
thank you.
Stay cool.
Okay, that brings us to 12 Halsey Path LLC for construction of a two-story single-family dwelling with attached garage and pool house. Do you have the affidavits, and are they in order?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
You're just gonna spin those around.
Okay. Ooh, look, big drawings.
You're gonna spin those around to face you.
Nothing's better than big
Small.
drawings.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a green field.
Okay, gentlemen, if you'll introduce yourself for the
Was.
record.
Yeah, it was. It's sweet.
A large part of it's going to remain.
Okay, if you'll introduce yourself for the record, please.
Neil Martin, counsel for the applicant.
Thank you.
Brian Glasser, architect.
Okay. And make those microphones your friends. Okay.
All right. Good evening, board members. My name is, like I said, Brian Glasser. I'm representing the owner at 12 Halsey Path. Just to give you a little bit of information on the lot, we're currently located at the end of the cul-de-sac, which is the south side. The lot is currently 61,884 square feet. This is a part of a subdivision that this is currently a vacant piece of property. Moving on to the architectural style that my client is looking to go with. We went with a shingle style home. The design uses, we have the use of natural wood shingles on the roof and siding. With a shingle style house, we went with complex gabled roof lines, which have a 12-on-12 roof pitch. There's, one of the challenges that we tried to do is bring down the massing and volume, which I've seen, on your guidelines for certain styles of architecture. We were trying to make the house have more of a horizontal feel, so you'll see us bringing the roof line from the ridge all the way down to the, first floor with a horizontal band wrapping the entire house. Some other items that we did to magnify this, like horizontal feeling versus a horizontal feel versus a vertical look. We used larger roof overhangs. We also included wraparound porches, which had shingle roofs to kind of bring in the roof decks and the walls on the second floor, make them appear smaller. Also attaching we did an attached garage to the west side of the property. You'll see in the front, to highlight the main entry, we introduced an arch top, Romanesque arch over the front entry and a turret where the staircase is. Going on to the materials that we chose to run with here. Like I said, on the roof, we're going with a tapered sawn red cedar. Gutters and leaders are going to be half round gutters with round leaders, and lead-coated copper is the material that we'll be using here. The siding is also going to be a red cedar perfection shingle, which will have like a 5.5-inch exposure. The chimneys will be a Danish blend brick veneer. The windows that we're choosing to go with are Marvin Ultimate, which is an aluminum clad. It's going to be a white, their standard white color. All the trim is around the windows. The fascias are also going to be, it's going to be an off-white to match the window color. Columns, we are going with a tapered shingle column. Patios are going to be a bluestone material. The covered patios and the patios around the pool will be a bluestone, and we're going to do brick risers in the front around the entry. Railings will also be, you'll see on the back where we brought the roof line around to bring in the scale of the decks. We have a shingled roof coming up around 3 feet, and then we have a smaller like railing system just to meet the code for railings for someone so they don't fall over. For wall sconces, there's a few of them located around the garage, at the garage doors, and there's a little like knee wall where we're hiding our trash over by the garage, which has we're using it's called Belvoa, which is dark sky compliant. They make them in gas lanterns, but we can convert them to dark sky compliant where they hide the light so it shines down. So that's, and the pool house is going to have all similar materials as the main home. That's pretty much it.
Board members.
I overall like the house a great deal. I think it's lovely. I would maybe, one comment is that very large window by I guess it's the front staircase. That's just one observation. That seems like a lot of window to me. And then, because, I mean, I'm sure I could look it up, but explain to us what the dimensions of those, are those step-out terraces on the second? What is that back there? I mean, they're railings, so
They're balconies.
they're balconies. I mean,
Yeah, so
right.
this is
They're,
the dimensions here, yes.
And then there's a large one that connects 2 bedrooms.
Right. I mean, those are quite large, and I noticed that the lot behind
Here we are.
is unbuilt. But at some time, if you look here, that, it's not so far away. I don't know, just, those were my 2 comments.
Yeah, so we did bring the roof lines to address that. We did bring the roof
Right.
lines in. You'll see the footprint of the covered patio below. We did pull them in to a certain point for the architectural proportion to look correct.
Right.
The size of the roof, those spaces are roughly 10'9" by 13'4" for the primary or master bedroom. And then the bedrooms 2 and 3 they do have a common deck that is 34 by 9 feet. And I do know from past projects in the village in tighter quarters that it was a concern. So you will see on the west, which would be the closest neighbor, even though it isn't developed over here.
Right.
We do have a roof line that comes up
Yeah, I saw, yeah.
quite
I
a
saw
bit
that
higher.
too.
So there are
Right.
things that I try to
Yeah.
yeah, I've had comments before from the board, and I know there's certain, to respect the neighbor's privacy. That was one of the big things here, which I was hoping on a bigger piece of property I could kind of make that work and to make the architecture look correct for myself. That was a little bit of a balancing act for me, so that's kind of where I stood with that.
Well, I think you've done a great job. Overall, I think the house looks great. I had the same question about the window in the front, and is that a basement window? Because it seems to be below the
Yeah,
In
so,
in the front there, that was the only thing that caught my eye as being,
Yeah.
so it's a little deceiving. If you look at, the best way to look, the rendering, you know, it's just for the presentation of it. If you go to sheet or page 6, you'll see, and I can point it out, the landing where you'd be standing is roughly right where the tapered shingles underneath the window kind of extend to. So your sill is roughly at 3'6", so your head would kind of be sticking out right here at this point. So that's the landing, or to highlight the landing a little bit better. for
So the
everyone.
landing is lower than we were, than it might appear, no?
So this is the landing. This is like a person sticking their head. That's kind of their
and
head
how
right
about the
there.
bottom portion of that window seems to go into a basement?
Yes.
It does, that's a light, it's called a light well, in fact.
Yep,
Okay,
so what
just wanted
happens-
to,
Yeah, so basically there's a little, this is letting natural light into, here's another landing going down. So these are the stairs going to the basement level. So if you're a person standing here, your head would be
There-
somewhat in that area.
So it could be a house
This is
here,
your
too.
person standing here,
Yeah.
kind of like that area.
and, okay, if this is the front door, this comes out to the driveway even farther than the front door?
This comes
The
out
landing?
slightly- Yep.
Yeah, that tower, it's not working for me.
I mean, I would think you'd want to make the basement more recessive.
So it's just this little area here that sticks out about 2 feet.
Mhm.
That's
You're
something that,
talking to the microphone.
sorry.
Sorry.
So.
Our
it's-
fault.
Yeah, no,
I
it's all right.
know.
I get sucked into the question, so.
And
So-
pull the microphone toward you so Sage
Yeah.
doesn't kill me.
So basically, you're coming out around 2 feet for this turret,
Mm-hmm.
and in the, you know, the guidelines, there is, with the shingle style house, they do like those little elements, and it kind of highlights the entrance. I know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I've gotten denied on 2-story glass elements. This to me was I was trying to do a little bit of a balance between the two. If we just did windows maybe up at a larger transom at that landing, when you come up to the staircase, you'd be looking at a wall, and the windows would be so high up you wouldn't see it. So that's where this kind of.
I would just rather
out.
see that basement
Yeah.
entrance be elsewhere than next to the front door. That would be
Right.
that would be my feedback.
And I feel like over the front door and then to the right, there seems to be like window congestion. There's a big 5 windows
Yeah.
over the front door, which I think is handsome, but I don't think that's helpful somehow. I think and it sort of takes your eye off to the right to the long window, second floor, right?
You're talking about.
All of that, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's somehow, I couldn't tell you what to do, but I think it's it's congested is my sense. And that I think you've made a handsome house, and I think that's the part that I.
Right above the entry door.
Yeah, right
Yeah,
above
no,
the
it's
door.
me, sorry.
Okay,
Because they're talking about
thank you,
right here.
Sage.
You
Okay.
guys got me
It's
again.
also north facing, so it doesn't make sense to have too much glass north facing.
Yeah, I like,
Yeah, but
that's
you're not
one
gonna
thing
have
with the
balcony
south facing light, it would be blasting in, letting too much light in there. To me, having north facing light as a transom level, it's not going into a room, it's going from above, so it's just letting some natural light through. It's not
Because it's probably
like,
blocked off.
you know,
Yeah.
spotlight coming
You
into
have
the
plenty
space.
of windows
Still
in the
just
south
trying to
here.
find
That's
out.
the, yeah,
I think
right.
so.
That's
Really?
strange.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we have, the biggest thing is on the back, we have all covered porches.
So it's not
Oh, well,
even a
that's
house,
good.
it's the
Oh, it's great.
I just,
Yeah.
if you, I feel like, take a step back and look. What you, my eye goes.
You haven't gotten me yet.
Yeah,
Oh,
somewhere,
no.
somewhere.
Right?
Or
I
here,
feel like
or,
there's
you know, right here.
too much
Yeah.
of something.
Mhm.
How's that?
Yeah.
I agree that above the entry door, you could reduce the amount of windows and glass.
Somehow.
Otherwise,
It would be more elegant.
Yeah, I love the,
I find the whole tower thing is not working. I feel like suddenly you've got this big tower protrusion, it's all glass, and that is the front of the house that faces the neighbor. You're facing the side to the neighbor.
The
And
neighbors.
we've gotten this before, where suddenly this thing lights up and lights up the side of someone's house, and I don't know what rooms in that house face that, so I'm not actually sure of that. But I think the tower is a step too far. I think the brackets above it is just over-architected. For the most part, I think it's a good house. You've got your signature tapered columns, those sort of arts and crafts columns that you love so much that I think are not in harmony with this particular house. I feel like you've got an arts and crafts element stuck on sort of a traditional Hamptons house that doesn't really work, and I don't find that harmonious. I am concerned about the size of the balconies on the back. think the color's fine. The biggest issue that I have is that big lit staircase tower situation's just not working.
Okay.
And you probably even thought we'd say that. And then because we've been here before on our Bryan houses. And then to me, these tapered shingle columns are atypical and odd against the style of the architecture.
Mhm.
The pool house, I think, is fine, except for my ongoing tapered shingle issue. But I think that great big, and then you've got brackets on top of the tower, on top of the windows, on top of the light. It's too much. So I think you need to rethink that. And those would be my issues.
How do you feel about the master terrace size and scale? Is it okay? It's probably more that double off the 2 bedrooms being one large unit.
Yes.
Like one,
I'd say
yeah.
pick one.
Yeah, I think that,
That's a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
We might be able to.
Maybe just have the master, right, and not the 2 adjoining bedrooms, because that's where it's really excessive.
Yeah.
One thing I was going to say, the biggest thing for me with these terraces is it's not even to go out. It's to it's nice letting natural light in. So by letting us put the doors all the way down, like if I just went out maybe like 3 feet and it was a little balcony just to let me put the door all the way in, I think that's great. Not even to go out, just to have that little bit of extra depth and have, going all the way down. Could I make that a flat roof on there and put windows? I could, but I feel like having the doors there is nice, and it kind of matches.
I would leave it to this. You're a talented architect.
Yeah.
I think you've heard the concern.
Yeah.
I think you're not getting a warm, fuzzy response to that great big terrace between the 2 bedrooms, which you probably didn't expect you would, because we've been here before.
Yeah.
And I feel
I
like
knew I was pushing it a little bit.
Yeah, So
yeah.
I feel like you'll come back to us with another solution. That's why I feel like it's going to happen there.
Yeah.
Comments from the public? Okay, so to go back, the terraces, the tower, and the light situation, and I don't know how everybody else feels, but I think the arts and crafts tapered column thing is out of character with the house. And I know it's your signature, but I don't think it works on this house.
I would like to see maybe another idea of where you would put that basement entrance.
I think I think the whole tower has to be rethought.
Yeah.
Because
So
all
that's
that
why I'm just-
glass, the brackets, the light, because all that would be heading out and heading front, and that's
Are we
don't
okay
approve
with
that.
if I reduce the light exposure? Are you okay with the volume? Just because for me to redo the actual staircase and you can see how it's kind of intertwined. If I reconfigure it, is that something that?
To quote Alice Cooley, my friend, I cannot predict the future. So I can actually tell you what we're going to say to what we see. All I can tell you is what you're hearing, what the concerns of the board are, and one of the concerns is that tower is, first of all, I don't know that a turret, you just actually described it as a turret, is the right answer there.
Turret.
And then I think the glass, and that's where, frankly, that's the overhead light for the stairwell, which would be just a great big old light box. And we've had this happen before where somebody had then hung a great big, they told us they wouldn't, but then hung a great big chandelier right in the middle of that and lit up the neighborhood. So I think you're hearing that concern.
Yeah. All right, nice.
So, when would you like to return?
Yeah, we'll adjourn. I'm going to be away.
So don't apologize.
But here's the thing. I'm
You
going
get
to see
to be
if
away.
we're going to get on it, and then if we can get it to a point where.
Why don't you adjourn it to the 28th?
Yeah.
And then if you find you need to adjourn it further, send us a letter. But at least that'll keep you in process.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right, so
Thank
motion
you.
to accept the applicant's request for adjournment for 12 Halsey to July 28th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that takes us to 300 Murray Place. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you about 300 Murray Place. We have a problem in that the village code requires that posting be up on a house for 10 consecutive days leading up to the meeting. And when board members went by today and yesterday, the sign had blown off and what was not there. Therefore, we don't actually have the required consecutive days of posting for this house. But since this applicant is in from Westchester, I think what's fair is we'll go ahead and look at and give comment, but we won't vote on the project tonight because it's going to have to be renoticed. Is that correct, Alice?
Correct.
Great, so that's where we are. But I don't want you to waste a trip either. So.
That's very helpful.
Okay.
Would you prefer the large drawings or the iPad for the?
I think we prefer the iPad.
Really?
Yeah. I'm assuming they're the same drawing?
They're
So
same drawings, yeah.
Yeah,
I
they'll
was
be clear.
over there. I couldn't see in there. You know, they have kind of a big bulky gate. It's not so
It is
easy.
quite difficult. The whole neighborhood is like
Yeah.
that. And the, you know, the site context
The whole
photos.
neighborhood is under construction.
Yeah, oh,
Never
apologize.
seen
Michael
anything
Patino,
like
applicant.
So I found that a little hard, just for starters.
I think I have a weird question about this house.
I,
Is this the house on Murray that at one point was the chicken coop?
no.
I don't believe so.
Is that the one that was
No.
next door? Okay. Because there's one house that's cool. It was originally been part of a chicken coop or farm that's
This
on
is
that
the
street.
big-
That's cool.
When
But
was that house?
That house had been
It's-
blown up, but the chicken coop is still in the middle.
It's not the,
All right.
This is a new house that was, I believe, from 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
There was
Yeah.
another
Okay.
house there. It was taken down. I
Okay.
wasn't the applicant. I believe it was a
right,
developer.
I don't know, I just, it's
It just-
not, we're not looking
yeah.
at anything
Yeah.
historic.
Oh, no, it's always, that just was a
Chicken
curiosity,
coops
because I love
or
that. I
not.
love this
No
street, so it was a
chickens or no
curiosity.
chickens.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
This project was hastened by some problematic construction and windows. So it unfortunately, even though it's a brand new house, the windows have been leaking since the people moved in. And a number of other problems with the envelope. So I will start just G102, which is some house context, just some photographs of the house itself from around the property. G103 is the neighborhood, which you mentioned is mostly hedges and gates.
Very tall,
those are the
very
gates.
tall hedges.
Very tall hedges, yes. L100 is an existing site plan. That site plan has, as you see, you enter the property from one side, you cut across in order to get to the garage, and there's parking in the center. I will just go to sheet L101, which is my proposed site plan. This moves the entrance, the driveway entrance over to the other side of the property. It now aligns with the driveway to the neighbor immediately next door, so the driveways are kind of next to each other, which is a sort of nice feature for neighbors, but also reduces the amount of driveway parking, impervious surface by quite a bit, about 30%, and allows us to do a garden at the front of the house. In addition to that, there is an expansion of the hardscape at the back side of the pool so that you can fit a lounge chair. I'm going to skip the plans. The plans are mostly some sort of minor interior renovation work, and I will go to the elevation sheet starting with A200. The current house is clad in a white hardy plank board and a face brick on the center tall portion of the house. We're proposing to remove that material when to sort of provide a new envelope on the house, and then replace it with a eastern white cedar. No coating. This house is fairly close to the water, so when about a quarter mile less, you get the nice sort of silvering of the shingles, particularly with the eastern white cedar. And the roof is also a cedar roof. The roof will remain. The roof is in good shape. The windows will be replaced with a IZ that's a higher rated lateral load resistant window because of our location, but otherwise they will change to a double hung. So a little bit of a difference in the window type, but otherwise quite, very similar to what's there. The muntin pattern, the sash sizes, those will all be in kind with what is there.
So you're changing what covers the house.
That's right.
Structurally, you're not changing the house?
No, there is no addition.
Okay, I just trying to get the drift here. Okay.
Footprint remains the same.
Okay,
Massing
so
is the
you're,
same.
like,
It's a material change.
cosmetically.
That's right.
Okay.
And then there's a little site plan work, which I described,
Yeah, well, we're not.
Right. So new windows and the whole house will be shingle
Shingles.
rather than that
Yeah.
hodgepodge
Combination,
of,
yeah.
yeah.
May I ask what the brands of the windows were and what they are going to be?
The brands, the current window that's there is a Marvin, it's a Marvin clad window.
And they failed? Or was it the way they were installed?
It was actually both. The testing showed that the gasketing was done incorrectly, and so the Marvin is replacing them. And there also happens to be a deficient installation, so pan flashing and.
So they got a twofer.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a lot of windows.
So they're being replaced by a Marvin window because they're honoring the.
Guarantee.
But
All right.
it's also the wrong window. It's an in-swinging casement that doesn't have a lateral load resistance, so that's another, so we have actually three. So that's why we're going to a double hung, and we're upgrading to an IZ rated because of our proximity to the water. When you run the calculation on the ASCE, it provides
So
it.
how does in like 2 sentences, how does someone get in this predicament? Did the architect?
They hire the wrong contractor.
The contractor or the architect? Just
I
pitch
probably
it out
shouldn't
there.
say anything because I believe that they are going to handle it.
No, I think we should move on. And
Okay, move on. I'm
Yeah.
just curious.
For
I
a
don't
lot of
wanna get
reasons,
in
I
that
think, for a lot of
situation.
reasons in a public meeting, I think we should
Okay.
move on from that question.
I'll
Okay.
talk to you later. No.
Okay.
Where's the door?
Uh,
What page are we on with the door?
If you're at A200,
Yeah?
the door is in the center portion of the house in there's
With
a
the
sort
big-
of, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The big, there's a double door.
I see it. I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
Okay.
It's wacky. Not for them, I guess.
Well,
Ugh.
I'd be
All right.
highly unhappy if I were in the situation these homeowners
must
are in,
have
but they have
gradually
you, but they
come
have
to
you to
an
fix it.
understanding that something was awry.
So we can't vote on this. So you're gonna repost, and then we will take it up in the next meeting. And are there any questions, comments from the public? Okay, so that's where we are.
Well,
So in this circumstance, do we adjourn this to the 28th, Alice?
No. Do we? 'Cause it
Well, you
doesn't-
can't take jurisdiction because this is technically a working session because we couldn't take jurisdiction because you didn't have affidavits, your affidavits were not in
Well,
order.
he just needs to post.
Pardon?
He just needs to post.
Okay,
Could we do a contingent approval or
So
something?
we could put it on for the 28th.
okay.
If
And
he's able
again,
to
you
get
can
the
just come in,
post-
you can come in by
pretty
Zoom.
quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think you can get that done in time?
a new sign posting? Yeah,
Yes,
we're
yeah.
gonna build it like a,
Yeah.
a tank there, like that first sign that
And then
came
like
up.
wrap it in tape.
But
Yeah.
doesn't it
Yeah, I
have to go-
apologize, everyone. I got informed that the neighbors had it. It blew into their yard, and
Oh, they
So-
didn't give it back? I went over
they
there.
did, but we didn't find out till today,
Right,
and when we got an email that this blew down.
Oh,
Okay, so
okay.
the question is, we're not taking jurisdiction because we're not posting, so this is a working session, so you have our comments, so I don't need to adjourn it?
Exactly.
There you go. We will see you next meeting.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so that takes us up to,
What color
The
are the
Avenue.
windows?
35 Lake?
They are, like, the colors, give you the exact color. Do you want to?
Sure. Bring it on. Yeah. As long as we're doing it. That's a-
They are this
Gunmetal?
gunmetal.
It's in a private.
what are the existing?
It's the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're replacing in-kind with just a
Okay,
better,
never
with
mind.
just a better company,
Yeah.
or
Just
a
a
better
better
window product.
window.
Better
A
version.
different window
Better made.
product, I should say, yes. And
Okay.
better installed. Okay, but we're not going to talk about that on TV. Okay,
Thank you.
that takes us to 2020 Meadow Lane. Affidavits, are they in order?
Yes, they are.
Okay, CMAC.
Good evening, board members. Sir Maxami, our court representing Eiffel Towers, Mrs. Salvasi, Mrs. Salvasi. Just a brief summary. This has been a 4-year journey for us, believe it or not.
What,
we-
4 years,
4
you're saying?
years, 4 years.
Yeah.
Just
2000,
before the zoning board, wasn't it more then?
it was
Yeah,
started
6
around
years.
2021,
Yeah, I feel like I've been living this house a very long
If you
time.
want to go from when
Groundhog
I
Day for
started
me,
sending out
CNI.
postings and so forth, it was 2000.
Okay.
Yes. Last we were in front of you, we did get an approval for as of right version of it. You had also, prior to that, reviewed what was also in front of the ZBA.
Right.
Basically, we withdrew that application and submitted the as of right, and you approved that as of right. Consequently, this past about 8 months ago, we started this process with ZBA again for the elements that were not as of right, needed a variance. We did get our variance approved finally from ZBA, and we're here with the application that you did review, and now with the variance approval, it's all basically
So, wait, we reviewed this once before?
you have reviewed this
exact
once
thing?
before. So
We
this
approved, we reviewed and approved this house in a manner that did not require the variance.
Correct.
They
Oh.
continued with their variance, they got a variance, and now we're looking at it again
Correct.
in the version of the house reflecting the variance as
variance.
it came through.
Correct. That you're, yes.
So we
that's
have
right.
lived with this house a
And
long
the
time.
bulk of the work.
I was on the
Ultimately,
ZBA, don't tell me.
Okay.
So,
So why don't you- that seems to me like,
Just tell us what the change
go to
Deja vu
822,
all
because that's
over
where we are,
again?
because this is where your big
I'll
changes are, right?
take you to a rendering. I think that's the easiest way to understand.
Where's that?
Page P1.2, towards the end of the package. I have it here in front of, on the screen, if you want to take a look at it here. This is basically the crux of what's being proposed is the rear of the property facing the ocean. A version of this was approved, and now we're approving some GFA added there that was part of that variance requirement. You can see at the following page where you see the orange is all existing, and in white is what's being added on to. And you see that in various angles in the following pages. Nothing's expanding in the footprint of the house. These are all within the existing footprint of the house. Also, just to give you a little bit of a context, I have an existing photograph of the rear of the house here, which is a hodgepodge of all sorts of windows and railings and shapes and forms and so on and so forth.
I remember this.
I know at the time, Mark, you had asked me for a night rendering.
Yep.
Which, if you go to the last page, actually one to the last, is that night rendering of the property. Actually, this print is not the best print, but that's what it is. And what really architecturally changes is that basically the pool is coming down from the upper deck to the
well,
ground
good
level.
for you.
That's what it is, basically. With some very minimal room expansions underneath that porch, about 400 or 500 square feet. Both versions that you reviewed at the time, you liked both versions, but of course the client wanted the pool at the ground level because it provides more protection from wind, sun, and so forth. Portion of this pool actually is underneath the porch, so provides shade and also privacy from neighbors.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a lot of information here. I'll be happy if you want to be more specific. I can direct you towards that or define what you need to see.
I actually just, I have one, no, just, I found it. Okay, we're good. Not my question. Board members,
I have no objection.
I have no objection. I understand you're working with as you said, hodgepodge of
Yeah.
very difficult.
Putting the pool down took away some of the intensity of the back, which I always felt didn't have anything to do with the front, but I'll leave that. So what? There it is. At night, it doesn't, it looks okay.
Nina, comments?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's okay. A lot of glass added to the south, which, you know, that's okay in terms of where the pool is and the energy. But yeah, I think you've done a good job with what you had, so.
Thank you.
It actually makes the back of the house make more sense now. And it's
Yes.
actually, the rhythm of the back of the house is more pleasing. It makes more sense, and I think it's fine. Any comments from the public? Okay.
Oh, it's an empty room.
So motion to accept the application for 2020 Meadow Lane based on drawings stamped in June 12th, 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Now, do not come back.
I'm going to go get
these-
myself a glass
Do
of
not.
One
scotch.
of those houses that never
Fair
goes away.
warnings,
Okay,
yeah.
the last one is 35 Lee Avenue, Sandkit LLC. Do you have affidavits, and are they in order?
Is there anyone, is this coming on Zoom?
I'm assuming they are.
Okay.
Hello? Oh, look, it's Brian Brady. Is that correct? Brian, is that you?
Oh. Coming up, maybe.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I like this house, actually.
Brian?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We can see you,
I'm Brian
too.
Brady. I am the architect for 35 Lee Avenue.
Can you give yourself any more volume there, Brian? That's a
Or
little better.
get closer to your mic.
Or
That was
just-
already,
yeah.
we could hear.
Oh, is that better?
Yeah, that's a little better, thank you.
Okay. I think the easiest thing to do is just to go right into the elevations. This house is on the corner of Lee Avenue and Hill Street. It's an existing house that we're adding an addition to on the west side and the south side, but the Lee Avenue side really doesn't change too much. I just tried to clean it up a little bit. You can see what's existing here at the bottom. It has this salt box type roof in it, which to me was just completely out of character. And then, so I tried to clean that up and making it a more traditional gable roof. And then there's a big skylight in the middle here, which I'm trying to get rid of, and so I added this little eyebrow window just to keep the light in there. That is a two-story space. So that's basically all the changes that we're doing here. I'm taking away a lot of this gingerbread thing and making it a little bit more simple and adding some ridge vents. And this is the east side. That's basically what it's going to look like now. Okay. Right. Now, if we go to the north side, this is the Hill Street side. It's very heavily screened. If you went by it, you can't really see much of the house at all. But what we're doing is, this is an existing two-car garage, and we're actually removing it and replacing it with a two-story addition. Changing the garage doors, making them feel a little bit more traditional. The owner doesn't like the way this bay window is aproned at the bottom, so we're doing a more traditional bay window with paneling. This dental work is existing, so we're continuing it along the thing. And the roof line of this addition, you can see, is subservient to the roof line of the house, so it is much lower. And that's basically the rendering of what it's going to look like. Okay. We're matching all the materials that are there. All the windows are going to be the same as well. Now for the south side, basically this is all existing here. I don't like this window that they added. This is a bedroom here, so I just added some transoms above it to try to clean that up a little bit. Also getting rid of the skylight that's here and simplifying the chimneys. Right now they're pretty massive with big terracotta pots on the top, so I'm just simplifying them. This is a covered porch in the back, and this is the primary bedroom above. And this is basically how that's going to look from the back. And that's basically it. Any questions from anyone?
I have a question. On page A24, your west elevation,
Yeah.
talk to me about the roof line. Is that to keep it from, is it just, is the double peak roof line out there because to keep it subservient to the ridge line?
Yes.
Okay. Board members.
I thought you did a nice job. I love the covered porch. I kind of like the slightly fancy details of the light. And I think you added to the neighborhood.
Yeah, it seems much improved compared to what it was. I definitely think the garage looks more in keeping with the neighborhood. Garage doors.
Nina?
Yeah, I mean, my original reaction was a little bit that just from the drawn elevation, seeing the roof slide all the way down was sort of the architectural move of the house that I it's sort of hidden here in the photograph by this hedge, but I kind of appreciated that. Just and so that's completely eliminated here, which I can understand. It's asymmetrical, which there's something in my architectural brain which is thinking it should either have the swoop and be all the way asymmetrical or be all the way symmetrical, because right now it's sort of in between. I don't know if there's any way of getting the front facade to be symmetrical.
Yeah,
That would be mine.
Not really. This is the two-story space right here.
But otherwise, I don't really have any comments. I think it's well done.
Can you talk to me about the tell me your glazing pattern in the eyebrow window and in the attic? I guess it's the third story, like attic window.
This here,
Yeah,
on the,
it looks like a diamond glazing pattern in it.
no, it's not. Oh, in the rendering, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Let's see. That.
yeah.
Yeah. My client wanted to have something of interest up there, and we don't have shutters on the house, so typically I would just do shutters. So we introduced this diamond pane.
Okay.
To do that. And this is actually rendered incorrectly. It will be more like a fan light,
Okay.
which is,
Looked weird
that's,
to me.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's picking up, these are existing, this I don't like at all, so I got rid of it. But that was sort of tying in with what was existing on this side, because it's in the same room.
Okay. I understand Nina's point for symmetrical. I don't know how you would accomplish it here, but I understand where it points from. Not enough to stop me, but I understand where the point is there. And putting a fan light in the eyebrow window makes more sense to me, but okay, thank you.
Okay.
Any comments from the public? Okay, I'm going to motion to approve the house at 35 Lee Avenue based on drawings submitted, if I can ever find the date. Submitted 6/12/2025, is that right? Is there a date? July 16, 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Here you go, baby.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
And with that, I believe, motion to adjourn the July 14th meeting of the Southampton Village Board of Architecture Review and Historic Preservation. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.